What is up, everybody? It is Riley Reviews, back again with another video here. Today we are going to be doing a little comparison between arguably the two most popular cases out there, Moducase and Detolfs. I know a lot of collectors out there have been deciding, is Moducase worth it? Should I stick with my Detolfs? As you can see, I am still collecting Detolfs even after the Moducase or Moduspace change, and I have some things that may change your mind on if I do love the Moduspaces as much as I do, and some little things I miss about Detolfs, and things I definitely don't miss about Detolfs. But if you enjoy the content today, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, as it does help the channel grow, and let me know in the comments all of your thoughts as always. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the comparison with the verses between Moducases and Detolfs. Alright, let's first talk about aesthetics. I think that's the most important thing to talk about when it comes to a collectible room, because when you have your collectibles in there, it's probably the most important thing to look at, is if you actually enjoy the way it looks on your shelf. So, personally, I would say I enjoy Moducases in comparison to the Detolfs, for one particular reason: scene and world building. I think when it comes to Moducases, you have the length, you have the height to really create dynamic scenes, even your own universe or prequel trilogy of any movies, TV shows, whatever it may be. That is why I'm going to Moducase. But again, there really is no wrong answer here. You're more so just getting my personal thoughts when I have both of these on the shelf. Because I would say for collectors out there who are limited on collecting, limited on space, Detolfs are more better for aesthetics wise. Because when you have one figure on the shelves in comparison to 3 or 4 cluttered in one square of each Detolf, it does look a little messy in my opinion. But when you have one in each shelf, similar to what photo I'm showing you here, it does look a lot better. But for people collecting a wide range of collectibles out there, I'd say Moducase is your go-to looks-wise, and I do think it personally just looks cleaner. The one thing I will give a point to for Detolfs, though, is the glass cases, so you don't get as much of a reflection in comparison to Moducase. That said, ultimately, I'm going to go with Moducase for the 1-0 lead so far into this battle of the best cases. But as previously mentioned, there is no winner here. Some people find Moducases to look like fish tanks. Other people hate Detolfs. It can go the other way. It's all subjective. Okay, now we move to round 2, which is likely the second most important thing: pricing. I mean, we all want to budget into this hobby and spend the least amount of money we can, because the collectibles are probably the most important thing we have to spend when it comes to our budget on top of this. Now, before we pick our winner, let's go into a deep dive of each of these. So we have a Detolf right here, which is on sale for 100, but I'm just going to say it's 130 because I believe they are 130 regularly. These are the IKEA Detolfs, and it's 130 per case. And on the right, we have the Moducase or Moduspace, which is going to be $300 to $327 before shipping or taxes. So I'm just going to say $400 shipped per case of a DF120. This is a DF120. We're mainly prioritizing because those are the most of my cases I have showing. Now, starting with Detolfs, how many they can fit in the actual shelf, if any collectibles you have, we're talking 6 scale, I'm going to say 12 figures, because that is 3 per shelf, which is already kind of pushing it to be a little bit cluttered. So I'd say 3, giving it that we can collect 3 in each shelf. Now we go to Moducase or Moduspace with the DF120. You could fit, I would say, to maybe not look too cluttered, but a little cluttered, is around 18 figures. I think you could fit 18 per shelf. Now you have to tell yourself you are also paying that premium amount because you are getting dust-proof, very hidden wires, all the other fun stuff with Moducase, while Detolfs are a little bit more simpler, not to knock it or anything. But that said, I'm giving the win to Detolfs because it is obviously the most budget-friendly, so that is going to take an extra advantage to any collector out there, collecting any scale really, because that's the most important thing. We want to spend the least to fund for our main collectibles. Now, before you even reach one Moducase, you can actually purchase 3 Detolfs before even reaching one of these cases. So yes, you are paying a premium for these cases. That said, you're getting a lot more, but when you're collecting 3 Detolfs already, it's still going to have a lead because it can collect 12, 24, 36, while one case of a Moducase is only going to fit you 18. So almost half of that, and you're not getting the amount of price. So ultimately, as premium Moducases are, the winner is Detolf in budget aspects, making it all tied up here at 1-1. Now let's move to round 3, which is functionality and evolution. Now I'm breaking this up because this is also very important. Every time we get our cases, we want to make sure to do the least possible, the easiest way to set them up, the simplest way once you have them complete how to maintain them. Now, bringing this up with the Detolfs, this is going to be a slight knock for them because you unfortunately have to buy your own lights. These don't come with lights, and you have to figure out a way to hide them as properly as you can with buying zip ties or any other custom items that you can find for yourself or others. But like I said, I think that's a slight knock towards Detolfs because Moducases come pre-equipped with your lighting with LEDs, with white lights, warm lights, whichever one you may choose, and also the best way to hide them. As you saw in that corner, you can hide them with certain aluminum channels, and you have a little bit of noticeable wires in the top left, but nothing comes close to when it comes to Detolfs. It is all open. You're going to see the wires. You're going to, even as far as you zip tie, as hard as you can. Trust me, I've had Detolfs for ages. This is the best solution, Moducases. And also with functionality, being able to hide wires is super important for Moducases, and it's pretty easy to do so, hiding them in the bottom right or bottom left of your cases. When it comes to Detolfs though, with the future of USB lighting, it is all open shelves. So you're going to see wires any chance you can. There's really no way to hide them, and I think the future of Hot Toys with all this USB stuff coming, it's going to become a struggle for Detolf collectors to maintain that and figure out ways to hide it properly. That said, we are giving Moducase the 2-1 lead in the Battle of the Cases. All right, everyone, round 4, we are getting through it. If you stuck this far into the video, thank you so much. Hit that like button if you're enjoying it so far. Round 4, going to maintenance, which is basically cleaning, which was a very, very hard one to choose. Honestly, this decision I had to make was very close, simply because they are both a struggle to deal with. But now we have the Detolfs here, showcasing there's a lot of smudges and maintenance you have to deal with the inside of the cases, which is definitely going to give it a knock, as we will talk about, but it is glass, which is another advantage. Here showing the Moducases. Now, as I've said, it is dustproof on the inside. Now, that is not to say it is dustproof on the outside, as I have my Swifter here, always swifting through these things, because as I've mentioned a lot, dust is very magnetized to these particular cases because it is acrylic. It is not glass, giving Detolf a huge advantage in that aspect because, trust me, when you have your Moducases, if you are in a dusty area, I'm in a garage in my collection, so there's dust that attracts to almost all the outsides of the cases. That said, the inside, we don't have to deal with that, which is a big advantage for Moducases, but I will say Detolfs are definitely feeling happy on the outsides because it's glass. You can easily clean it with a Windex, wipey, but you would have to get specific acrylic cleaner for Moducases, so that is definitely going to give it a knock. That said, if you're in an area where there's no dust, you may not face these issues, but something definitely to address. And now we have the Detolfs with my cover black covers over the glass. You can see there's dust all over it. You can see the insides are filled with it, and now we move on to the Moducases, which are almost pitch clean on the insides. You don't really deal with dust when it comes to the inside of the cases, but like I said, the outside is a real pain in the butt. But we have these Moducases here, swift and span. You don't have to deal with dusting your figures, anything like that when they're in the cases because they are all enclosed in the plexiglass. I absolutely love this for Moducases because I don't want to have to open it and dust it and clean my figures off because you really don't have to struggle with that when it comes to these things, which gives it a major advantage. The only really thing I didn't like and almost got annoyed with badly with Moducases is because of the dust on the outside being acrylic. It is completely attracts dust and dog hair. But enough of my complaining and moaning. Let's talk about the winner, which I am going to very slightly give it to the Moducases simply because the insides do not get dust free and filled with any hair. The Detolfs, that is something you're just gonna have to deal with unless you get it custom made with these things, but again, that is not a guarantee that there will be zero dust. With the Moducases, it is completely dust proof on the inside, so I will give it the win there, making it a commanding 3-1 lead so far. That said, I really do miss having glass on my cases, but we are gonna give the winner to Moducase. Now moving to round 5, we're killing it right now, talking about materials. Now this is another thing that I wanted to address, which is gonna be one that's just one specific thing that I just mentioned that's going to make it have the win here between Moducases and Detolfs is the actual glass between plexiglass comparison. I will say, personally, I am going to give it to Detolfs. I think the material of glass is definitely going to be better, more premium, because as much as I do like the acrylic, I love how it magnetizes to Moducase. Stuff like this can happen. Now, if you didn't know, when I received my Moducases, unfortunately, there was a scratch with the plexiglass, and it does suck. I ended up buying a cleaner that ended up having heavy-duty scratch removals, so that was a huge plus because it ended up getting rid of this whole big gash here. But like I said, things of this nature, if you punched your Moducases, if you fell into your Moducases and hit the glass, stuff like this could occur. There could be a scratch that you may not be able to clean off, if you drop something on it, if you spilled something on it. But when it comes to Detolfs, you can hit it, you can probably smack it with your hand. and it is glass, so it's obviously not gonna, I mean, unless you full force punched it, it'd probably shatter, but it's going to be a lot more durable in the long run when it comes to plexiglass. I do like I said, how it magnetizes to the cases. That is a huge advantage, but overall, I miss Detolfs because it had that glass aspect. Felt a little bit more premium. If someone banged on it, it wouldn't obviously be a little more fragile, but when my pets, when my dogs, when my nephews come around, running around, going near the cases, I'm like, oh, be careful because it can scratch easily, it can break, possibly it can even crack. So I'm going to give Detolf the win here, making it a 3-2 for the Moducase lead. Are they going to choke? Are they going to blow the lead? I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments who you think will end up taking the throne here as we get to the final round. But like I said, this was also kind of a tough one because Moducase has some beautiful materials when it comes to the outsides of it. The wood, the risers, the magnetic aspect, very cool things. But like I said, Detolfs, for the price it is, for the glass you're getting, I just really do miss that aspect. I understand why Moducases are acrylic though, makes perfect sense for their cases, and again, there are some other great things about it. Now with that being said, let's move on to our final round and decide who is the winner of this debate. Now with the final round being titled Future Proof, let me know your thoughts who's going to win this one, because I am going to say between Moducases and Detolfs, future proofing, if you guys didn't know, is something that is super important to me because the future of collecting is at an all-time high right now. Hot Toys, InArt, all the other 6-scale companies, third party, you can really name it. But like I said, all of these things have something in common. New and unique and large items coming, vehicles, wiring, all of this stuff doesn't really work for me when it comes to Detolfs, and this is exactly why I made the switch to Moducases when I started collecting, because I knew I was going to collect vehicles, I knew I was going to get wiring, I knew I was going to get USB, and all of this stuff limits yourself when you have that 1 or 2 Detolfs, or as many Detolfs as you want, because it is an open case and you don't have the height or length to work with. When I want to have a 4-wheeled vehicle, you can't do that with Detolfs. When you want to have something that's 20 inches tall, you can't do that with Detolfs. When you want a Carnage, when you want an Age of Ultron Hulk, it doesn't really work unless you get some custom little risers that I am showing you guys here. I get it. They do work. They do the most part, but in the future aspect, it doesn't really work in the long haul because you're going to have to keep buying these things, keep future-proofing. But when Moducases, when you order one set, you can really be one and done at that point if you do your research because you have the height. Like I said, I want a Hulk, I'm going to buy it and pop it into my DF120 because you have 20-something inches of height. Again, this might be extremely personal for me, and you guys might not care about this, but for me, when you can put a riser into a Moducase to add more height, to add more figures, stuff like that means a lot because this is going to help me build onto my collection, build more of it. With Detolfs, I'm like, oh my god, now I have to buy more Detolfs. I already bought 3. This was happening. This is why I made the switch. I'm going to have to buy another 3 for these new collectibles coming. With Moducase, if you do the right planning, if you get the risers, you get the accessories it comes with, so many evolutionary things they're doing over there. I mean, obviously, I might sound a little biased right now, but I am going to fully give the win to Moducase because future proofing is a big deal for me, and I think is a big deal for collectors as much as they might not say it is because, like I said, companies are really changing. Hot Toys are doing new things, and I think we really do have to learn to get ready to adapt because it's going to get pretty wild. But as I've said, I don't want to keep the video too long, but that is giving Moducase the 4-2 win. And again, there is no winner here. This is just my personal experience with both cases. I've had Detolfs for years. I just started with Moducase and I'm loving them. And I think I gave you guys a lot of reasons why it steered me towards giving Moducase the win. But again, there might be a couple things you completely disagree with me, and let me know about that in the comments because that's what it's all about when we collect in this hobby. All of these collectors out there watching this video, giving your thoughts in the comments to argue with me, give me suggestions, give me comments, anything that's truly going to provide value in this community. So let me know all of your thoughts. But like I said, I'm going to give it to Moducase, but I still have Detolfs, so I don't dislike Detolfs, and I'm not hating on them. Budget-friendly, beautiful cases. They have glass. It's amazing stuff. A lot of advantages, like I mentioned throughout this whole video. And as you can see here, this was my old collection, and I'm going to show my new collection, which is still getting tweaked a little bit, but it's becoming, honestly, to the final stages of the project. Let me know what you guys think about it. Let me know if you guys enjoyed my old collection before with Detolfs, because I know a lot of people out there absolutely love Detolfs. They like it way better than Moducases. I always get comments like, these things look cheap. Honestly, they look like aquariums. I get it. If you don't like Moducases, that's perfectly fine. But to me, I'm going to give the win to Moducases. They are more premium. They have more opportunities to grow, to thrive. But like I said, Detolf does have some really nice things that I really do miss about them. But as I've said before, if you enjoyed all this information and content, I always love providing this for you. And if you want to show your appreciation, hit that like and subscribe button, as it does help the content and channel grow, because it's going to help fund the channel and give you guys some more better quality content videos. But again, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and have a great weekend. Drop your thoughts all in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one. See you guys.